everyone, and welcome to another episode of CXO in Focus on Web Studio TV. My name is Veqar, and with me today in the studio is Mr. Veqar Islam, who is the Senior Vice President for Middle East and Africa and also on the Executive Board for Comtel Corporation. Assalamu alaikum, sir, and thank you for taking your time.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing?
Alhamdulillah, good to be here.
So could you briefly enlighten us with your journey in this industry from the beginning, let's say?
Okay, so my journey started when we never used to call it IT industry, and now we call it ICT industry. We used to call it computer industry. So that way, in a way, I'm quite educated. So my journey started in 1985 with a company called Jaffa Brothers, brilliant company, and I started selling Xerox photocopies after I graduated from the university. 8-10 months experience, brilliant experience, where I learned a lot on how to interact in the field and how to go about making an impact on the market. From then on, I moved to this company called NCR, which is where more or less my journey started and reached at a decent level. तो जब हमने NCR में शुरू किया था तो पर्सनल कंप्यूटर नए नए आए थे, टेलेक्सेल और फैक्सेस का ज़माना था, और हमारे बात 25 साल पुरानी है तकरीबन, लेकिन लगता है कि 100 साल पुरानी है, because industry has really evolved over a period of time. So NCR I started as a sales trainee, then I continued to move up in the ladder, and in 1999 I became the country head of NCR Corporation in Pakistan, and till 2005 I stayed with NCR as a country head. So in 2005, after I left NCR, I joined Nokia Network, which was more or less a shift from the IT industry to a core telecom industry, doing telecom infrastructure, Nokia Network. And I remained associated with them till 2007, when we merged with Siemens. Then last year, August, I left Nokia Siemens Network and joined Comtel, and now I'm heading the Middle East Africa region and also on the global board. So that's more or less my journey. We started with the computer industry, carried on with IT industry, moved into communication on telecommunication. So in a way, I'm a true ICT guy, right, who has seen the information part and the communication part.
Yeah, that's actually a very, very interesting journey, sir. So talking about Comtel Corporation, sir, so if you could briefly tell us what exactly does your organization do? What sector does it fall in, and what's the employee strength like?
Okay. So Comtel is a Finland-based organization. It's a company which was formed in 1986. It's a public limited company in Finland. Interestingly, this is the company which was responsible, or its provisioning software was used to make the first 2G call in the world. And now we recently made the first 4G call using our mediation platform as well. So Comtel is what we call, has been operating in the BSS OSS space within the telecom industry. So it's an IT company, but focuses on telecom industry with its solutions. Now what is OSS BSS space for people who are not associated with telecom industry? So we work on business and operation support systems in the telecom industry, which more or less starts from the time someone says, I want to start using a mobile. And he goes to a shop or a franchise and says, I want a SIM, and fills in an order form. And then it goes in the back end through a process whereby you get provision in the network, saying, okay, now Shafal, as an example, is provisioned in the network and she can make the call. Using our fulfillment or provisioning stack that I spoke about, we use that data to analyze, and using our analytics piece, we can generate action in real time. So we recently did an analysis, the strategy of that we are an event analysis action company. Event and analysis piece is something we have been doing traditionally. Analytics in real time, at the speed that things happen.
So who are your customers basically?
Globally, we have over 285 customers all around the world, and they are represented in 85 countries of the world. Right? So more or less all tier 1 telecom operators around the globe or majority of them are with us, but also tier 2 and tier 3. But as said, within the business and operations support system, so we work in a niche area, and in that niche area we are a world leader, or we are a market leader.
Back to Counter Corporation and what you do. So, how customer engaging are you? What's the methodology or the strategies that you have?
So what if again going back to Countel, our mode of operation till about last year when we had a new CEO and he revamped the entire executive board and brought in people like me to change some of the dimensions. So what we are working on is, one is a product dimension. Product dimension means that the product that we had legacy, I spoke about order management, provisioning and mediation software. We need to integrate those software to ensure that they cater to the demand of moving demand of the industry. And then we also said, how can we enrich our software, our product portfolio? And we brought in this analytics piece, which is the real-time analysis, predictive analysis. So using the history of humans that every telco now has. When you make a call, you generate a lot of data. You make a click, you generate a lot of data. Right, about your interests, preferences, likes, dislikes, everything is there. But using that behavior, if I am able to predict how you will react, that's very interesting. And I make offers to you which are customized. So we decided in the global board that we need to enrich our product portfolio, and we got into this action, analytics action. We also enriched our services offering. We came up with our consulting offering and managed services offering for our customers who use our platform. So that was on the product dimension. Then the second dimension where we started working is the geography dimension or customer engagement dimension, which means we need to get closer to our customers so that we can provide them quality technology and quality support and service, and our engagement level intensified. So with that in mind, we have now started going beyond a central mode of operation to a decentralized mode of operation. For example, since the time I have taken over as region head for Middle East Africa, we have divided the entire Middle East Africa into 6 clusters, right? Which was not the case. It was all as one. Everything was out of the one. We have just last week announced the opening of our office in Cairo. We have plans to set up offices in Saudi, in Qatar, in Morocco, in Kenya, or Juba, and Pakistan as the business evolves. So the whole engagement model is now moving closer to the customers, so that we can provide them better supporting services. It also means that Counter is in a serious growth. We are taking the geographic dimension. We are adding people into our organization, and we are adding more feet on the ground, as they say, so that customer support improves.
That's very nice. Sir, everyone's been talking about cloud. It's become a buzzword now. I was reading some time ago that Amazon has actually reduced its prices of cloud just to be more competitive. So what sort of cloud services do you provide, and what do you see is the future of cloud? Because in the last 2 years, we've heard everyone just talk about cloud computing. So what do you think is the future of cloud?
I think, again, any technology, when it comes in, it raises concerns. People have questions, people have security issues, people have problems whether if I put my data, which is so sacred to me, which I would like to hold to myself and send it somewhere and provide services to the cloud, will it work or not? So I think the industry is going through that evolution phase. The technology is there, the pipes are there to provide services or use software via cloud. And we do it even today. I mean, to me, what is Facebook? That's more is cloud. What you do on Yahoo is more is cloud. Yeah. What you do on Twitter is more is cloud, right? And it needs to become more company specific because it provides efficiency and it will also provide economies of scale for many organizations who cannot afford all those expensive technology, or it doesn't make sense for them to maintain this. They want to use technology rather than be the operator of the technology. But I see cloud still in very initial evolution phase in countries like Pakistan, or specifically in Middle East Africa as well. people are still extremely possessive about the assets that they have, about the data and the fact that it should not leave the country or it should not leave the company. And there are specific laws in many countries where you cannot take data out of the country. Especially in Africa, there are many countries where there are legislation that you can't do that.
So going back a bit into the past, that you also started a university program, which was actually very interesting. So if you could just tell our audience a bit about it, what was it?
So what we did when I used to be part of MCR, so we started this concept of data warehousing, and I spoke a bit about the fact that you have a lot of data, but if you don't know what to do with the data is worthless. Right? So many companies will tell you, as an example, my sales decline. So they get a report, a static report, my sales decline. Yeah, fine, they decline, but then what? What do you do with it? Why did it decline? Why did it decline in one region and not decline in another? What are the market trends? So you have all that data, but you need to have the ability to analyze that data and, as I said, hopefully be able to predict behavior or predict patterns based on that. So we started data warehousing, I think, in late 99 or early 2000 in Pakistan. And nobody knew data warehousing at that time in Pakistan. So it was an alien concept, more or less, in the IT landscape of the country. Now, how do you then bring about more or less a revolution in the country, in the technology space, where people start to understand what is the concept, where people actually start to understand the power of data that they have, which I think, at least in Pakistan, but not just in Pakistan, in other parts of the world, nobody understood the power of data that they have and the power of history that we store. Now, we use history in our day-to-day life to guide our behavior, but interestingly, in our decision making in the corporate world or public sector, we had all that history available, but we never used it. And easy example I give to people is that why do we have a family doctor?
Because he knows your history.
He knows the history, right? So he's in the best position to guide you, give you solution, and also tell you what you should or you should not do as you move forward. Why do you go to a hairstylist? Not a good example for me to give, but nonetheless, right? Because he knows you or she knows you, right? And you want to go back to the same guy. Why do you want to go to the same travel agent? Because he knows you. आपको कौन सी चीज़ अच्छी लगती है, आपको कौन सा खाना पसंद है, आप आगे बैठना पसंद करते हैं, पीछे बैठना पसंद करते हैं, आयल पे बैठते हैं, विंडो पे बैठते हैं. आपके पास हिस्ट्री है, आप उसको एनालाइज करते हैं और जो आदमी उस हिस्ट्री को जानता है उसके पास जाना पसंद करते हैं. हमारे पास डेटा सारा मौजूद है या था अभी भी, जब से कंप्यूटर इंडस्ट्री आई या फाइल में दबा हुआ है, लेकिन हम उसे इस्तेमाल नहीं करते. So anyway, so 2000 में I was very passionate that we need to bring about this thinking process in organization's mind, that we need to start using the history to make better, informed, timely decisions. जब हमने वो चीज़ शुरू की, हम मार्केट में जाना शुरू हुए, और जैसा होता है ये हमारे पास तो फाइलों में डेटा है, आप क्या बात है आगे करेंगे नहीं, ऐसे उस तरह की गुफ्तगू शुरू हो, जिसको एक्सपर्टीज नहीं है, पाकिस्तान में कोई चीज़ समझता ही नहीं है. So then you need to work on two things. One is you need to work on short term, which means we started training people in the customer organization. We started going out, took a segment of the data, started showing them the power of data with them, making those kind of investments. And that was short term, and people started saying, wow, this is different. I never thought that data can actually turn into information into knowledge, and knowledge into wisdom, right? And on the other hand, we said, let's embark on a long-term program, or relatively long-term program, where we start educating the university students on the concept of data warehousing, so that when they graduate, they are better informed and better educated towards it. So we picked, I think, if I remember it correctly, 6 universities in the country, and I was, quite adamant that I will not give them a piece of hardware and a piece of software and say, okay, this is it. That to me is a trap in this. Because if you don't know what to do with technology, better don't invest in it. So I was not one of those who would say, okay, I'll give them our hardware, I'll give them our data software, and here it is. So I said, if we want to make an impact, then we need to work on their curriculum and develop a curriculum which they can teach at the university as a concept, and then use the lab to practice it. So the whole program has to be backed up by a proper infrastructure, which is the software and the hardware, and investment in coming up with a data warehouse curriculum, and then teaching training the trainers or teaching the professors. Now that concept of using low-cost, high-quality resources, that's what we have. So in Pakistan, the advantage we have in terms of people is that we offer talent, no question about it, right? We offer talent, we were able to harness that talent in the right direction, and we offer quality. So, anything where you can offer low-cost, high-quality is a recipe for success.
True.
You don't need to be a rocket scientist to know if I can get the best quality at a lowest cost, why won't you go for it? So we established a high-quality, low-cost center, and the whole world in Teradata started using that.
So this brings us to the end of the interview. Do you have any parting words or any comments or any suggestions for the current ICT industry?
I think the industry has all the ingredients to be successful because it's a people-based industry, and that's the biggest asset I see for Pakistan. We have quality people, we have smart people, we have brainy people, we have committed people, we have hard-working people, and we have lots of them. The need is that there is leadership which harness the potential of these people into the right direction, because as you said, the fundamentals are there, and it's a people-based industry, right? And the need is to think of avenues for people to start using technologies for the betterment of the country. Then you start creating jobs, which is high-skilled job, and then hopefully once you start using people in a right way in the country, you automatically create a stronger demand for them outside as well. Right. As I gave you the example of this data warehouse, because we were able to create demand, we were able to give them experience in country, we were able to give them education in country, and people outside said, I want to use them too.
So this brings us to the end of this episode of CXO in Focus on Web Studio TV. Stay tuned to meet new IT leaders and more IT leaders of Pakistan. Thank you.